you know, take some kind of like pleasure in, you know, passing it. I mean, you know, what's the joy in that? You know, it's really.
I don't see a joy at all.
Yeah, it's just, you
totally
know,
agree.
vengeful. So, yeah, I was kind of getting at the, you know, as far as the inspiration, not so much a specific songwriter, or like when do you find you hit it with the elevator thing.
I mean,
so it could be just some random event. For me, I'll be driving around and it seems like lyrics pop in my head when I'm driving, most of all, like because my mind is not thinking, and all of a sudden that's
I've heard that before. I've heard a lot of people. I actually I went to a music conference, and the songwriter who wrote the Climb by Miley Cyrus sings. I can't remember her last name right now. It's Jessie. She co-wrote it with a bunch of people in Nashville, and she was saying she was just in the car driving, and this melody came into her head, and then she didn't know what it was about that melody, but something about it, she knew that it was going to be an important song, and she ran inside the office when she got to the office, because she's a staff writer, I guess, and she wrote it down immediately. But I never found that for some reason. Like driving, I just drove 45 minutes from the airport, and I mean, I don't know what it is. Just usually I have to be prompted. You know, something will happen to me, or someone. Usually, if people are mean to me, it makes me sad, and then I'll, you know, or like I'll go and I'll write a piece of a song, and sometimes it'll just come out.
Yeah. So there's some type of inspiration or trigger that does it. I know what you mean, because you know, there's a place where it comes from where you kind of try to create as an artist and deal with whatever it is, you know, deal with it, whatever it is. But I was just kind of curious about that, you know, especially like living in New York City. There's stuff coming at you all the time.
I know.
And just walking down the street is, for me, it's kind of an overstimulating event.
It really is. It's so true. And I walk around with my phone, and I have in my phone I have like a notepad on my phone that I guess like type everything quickly into, any ideas that I have, and a lot of them I don't end up coming back to them, but some of them I do. And,
yeah.
And it's nice to have, like, you know, whether it's a homeless person that's sitting there and I want to give them something or help them, but I can't. You can't help them. You know, that, and then I feel guilty and I feel sad, and then I'll think of something else that, you know, is kind of related to that, and I'll just go home and I'll be playing, you know, fooling around with my guitar, and something will just come out.
Wow. That's really cool. You know, I'm interested in how, I guess, other songwriters, where they, you know, I like visiting New York, but I think that, you know, I need a refuge away from, like, where everything is just, I don't know, like, so I feel like I'm Forrest Gump, I guess. It's kind of what I'm getting at, you know. Like, my mind is cleared out, and it's just like a calm lake, and then I can write, you know, otherwise, because if I've got everything, and that's when it all comes out, then I can write, you know.
I mean, it's interesting, because you see, especially doing open mics as often as I do, you see songwriters who come out, and they'll come to one a week. I mean, there's definitely a network and a community of open mic singer-songwriters. There's, you know, the people who go out and perform at all the venues in New York City, but there's also this whole kind of underground community of artists wandering the streets of New York City, Brooklyn, Queens, playing their own music. And some people, I have a couple of friends who, when they write, they need to be alone, and, you know, after doing, you know, one open mic a week, they get pretty introspective, and they just kind of hide away and think about things and write songs. And then there are a bunch of us, we just, you know, try to hit a lot of them, and kind of just write when it comes to us. And I don't know, it's just interesting seeing all different, like, types of songwriters and people who get their inspiration from different places. And
yeah, that's cool. So where do you want to go with all this? I mean, you have the natural talent and ability. I mean, I'm hearing you and I'm going like, okay, so you're in New York, you're playing music, and it's like one of those things where want to be discovered? Is that the thing? Like everybody, you know, kind of in New York, I guess that's what people traditionally think. I'm going to go to New York. I'm going to be discovered. But you grew up there, so it's not like, you know, what are you looking for?
I mean, to have a sustainable music career with people who appreciate my music and you know, and enjoy listening to it and want to keep purchasing the music that I'm putting out there, and to have enough money from like sales, I guess, or from touring to really keep recording and to keep playing. Ideally, that would be amazing. That's kind of like if I could get anything out of it, that's what it would be. And I'm not. I mean, of course, like I want to dream big, and I would love for everyone to love my music and for everyone to support and purchase my EPs and my LPs and whatever else I may put out. But
and if you want to do that, you can go to. No.
I mean, JamieBendellMusic.com. No, but seriously, like I would, you know, it's so tough because I want to dream big, but I mean, if I could play, if I could just play and you know, not everybody's going to like everything that I do. If they're just, you know, if there's a group of core people who like my music, I'm going to keep pushing forward. And if I can keep building that group of people and having more and more people who support my music and who enjoy it, and I can just keep writing, I mean, hopefully it will kind of happen organically. I guess that people will find out.
Sounds like you've heard about that core 1,000 fans or something like that. I think. No,
I'd love to hear.
Yeah, I think it's like if you have a core 1,000 fans. I mean, die hard. They want what you're putting out. Then you can make a living doing it.
Really?
You know, a core bunch of people that you can turn to and say, putting out a CD, and you know they want advanced purchase copies of it. You know, that type of thing. Or they're street teamers. They're like really into your music. I think CD Baby might have had a podcast on that.
That's interesting. I'll definitely check it out.
You can Google it. You know, it seems to, but there are a lot of. I wasn't aware of the. You know, I grew up in a different time where it was like people wanted to get a record deal. You know, and you sent these little demo cassette tapes to people and that type of thing that want to get signed. The only way really was to go through the, you know, if you did it on your own, you really couldn't really do it on your own. But now, people can do it on their own and make it, and make a decent living.
I mean, no, it's nice to have the support of other people and to have, like, I guess the support of an independent label and, you know, just a small group of people who have a little bit more experience kind of with distribution and touring and booking bands together, you know, maybe that have similar, I guess, fan bases, so that, you know, you can kind of share and people hear different music and maybe, you know, end up liking your stuff. But I think I agree. I think it is possible to pursue music and to have some success as an independent artist. I mean, we'll see.
I think of a guy, Joe Pug. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. He's a singer-songwriter. And I was amazed by his story because he, I think he put together like a 4-song EP, 4 or 5-song EP. And, you know, was just the, you know, sparse type of acoustic recording. And gave it out to everybody for free. And all he asked was that, you know, you just sign up on my mailing list and gave me this free. And then people turned around and started buying this, you know, studio more, you know, and the buzz started happening at South by Southwest, and then all this big, you know, buzz was built, and he just played a similar type of situation. You find his story very inspiring, I think, because he left university and he had a degree in something else, and boom, he just decided I'm doing music, and he just started playing as much as he could, and he just started, you know, just building the buzz from the ground up.
It's interesting. I have a couple, someone in particular that I know was saying how you should set the bar high, and you should kind of put this, like, your album that you're releasing up high so people see it, you know, they want to buy it, it's $10, they should purchase it, and, you know, not give away free music and things like that. But I think to really nurture a group of people who enjoy your music, you know, the best gift you can give them is to say, here, you know, this is